Yes,
Guys are able to see my screen?
yes,
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So AWS with DevOps batch. So 58. So course duration. So it will take 2 months, but I will show you. So it will go to up to 3 months, guys, with real time everything. And class timings um, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. IST or 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. So class timings are 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. IST or 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So these two timings are free now. Okay. And so trainer, sorry, KCS for experience guys. And so what we will discuss in this course. So we'll discuss Linux plus AWS cloud and DevOps. Okay. So we'll discuss so Linux, AWS cloud and the DevOps tools. Guys, understood? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a master program on DevOps with AWS guys. So the instructor slide, something like myself, I'm Hari Cherku, DevOps consultant and solution architect with 12 plus years of industry experience as a real-time trainer, guys. And I have done so many certifications. Few of them are ITIL V3 certified, and I am a Red Hat certified system administrator, and I am a Red Hat certified Linux engineer, and I am a Red Hat certified, AWS certified solution architect associate too. And I am a Kubernetes certified Kubernetes administrator. Is understood? So this is my profile. And what are the prerequisites for learning DevOps and AWS? So there is no specific prerequisites, guys. Anybody who is passionate to kickstart their career as a DevOps engineer or a cloud practitioner can attend this program. So programming knowledge not mandatory for this course, or graduates, undergraduates, backend developers, web developers, non-IT background people also can attend this Master DevOps program. So what we will cover on this course outline. So what we will cover, we'll cover about the introduction to AWS DevOps, introduction to DevOps cloud. So introduction to DevOps world, Linux operating system, AWS cloud, DevOps tools. So real-time projects also will show you, and interview guidance also will give you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So the module one, something like what is DevOps, why DevOps, DevOps lifecycle, SDLC, waterfall methodology, Agile methodology. So we'll discuss this, guys. So before that, so something like so what is DevOps? So what is DevOps? Why DevOps? So I will show you something like the tools. DevOps tools we'll discuss about. So something like a plan purpose we are using Agile and Jira. Code purpose Eclipse, VS Code, GitLab, GitHub. So build purpose we use Maven, Gradle, NPM. Testing purpose test engine, unit test, JUnit, Selenium, Sonar Cube. So release purpose we are using Jenkins, Circle CI, Nexus, JFrog. So deploy purpose we are using Docker, AWS, Kubernetes, and operate purpose we are using Ansible, Chef, Kubernetes. Monitoring purpose Splunk, Nagios, CIQ. So these are the DevOps tools, guys. Is understood? So what is DevOps? What is DevOps? I showed you, right? The Jenkins, Sonar Cube, so Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Nagios. Right? So we are discussing about this. So now, what is a DevOps? What is DevOps, guys? You don't know. What is? So what is DevOps? Why DevOps? Okay.
Okay.
DevOps life cycle and the SDLC, waterfall methodology. That's it. Methodology. So what is DevOps? Why DevOps? I will tell you. So for example, this is our browser, guys. What this is? So this is our browser, Google Chrome. Okay. So in the Google Chrome, you are searching a website called as a HTTPS double colon. So www.facebook.com. So when you hit the search, what it will come? So when you search the www.facebook.com, what it will come? www.facebook.com. What it is coming? www.facebook.com. So it is coming the index page. It is asking about the username, password, then login or something like a forgot password or a create a account. Create a new account. If you don't have an account, then create. So whenever you click this, right, if you have an account, so you can provide the username, password, then login. It will open the your profile, right? What these all are? These all are web pages. These web pages comes from where? Where it comes from? So this is a login place. This login page comes from where? Guys, so this login page comes from where? Does anyone knows? Nalini, Mahesh, Vishal.
No idea about this.
Sorry?
No idea.
No idea. I think Vishal, you know, right? Vishal,
Yeah.
I think you're talking on mute.
No, can you repeat your question one?
Yeah. So something like this is the so when you search in the Facebook, something like a Chrome, www.facebook.com. So it's open the page, the login page, where it comes from. This login page comes from where?
I mean, it will consist of a server,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like Nginx. So it is a web server.
Very good.
From there it will trigger the HTML page will be rendered.
Yeah,
Yes.
very good. Yeah. So whatever the developer, what developers are developing, guys? The for example, so what developers are doing? Developers are developers are developing the web pages, right? So right, the developers develop the code. Nice one second. Okay, guys. Yeah, developers are developing the code. So right. So whatever the developers develop that code, right? That code. So this is the code. What is this? This is a code. So developed by the developers. So that code is written through Java or whatever it is, for example. Right? The code is written through Java. So where we can deploy this code, we can deploy this code on the server. On the server there is a web server called as something like a Tomcat is the web server. Is it? So Tomcat is the web server. On the Tomcat web server, so we deployed the code. What deployed the code? Something like a fp.java. So fp.java. This is the code. So whatever the developer develop the code, right? That code will convert from fp.java to fp.java. So fp.jar because of Tomcat web server knows only fp.jar. So right for converting this integrating this purpose we are using the Maven build tool. What is that? So Maven build tool. What this is? This is nothing but a integration. What this is, guys? So this is nothing but a integration. How they did the integration? Through manually did the integration. Okay. Once the integration is done, so once the integration is done, so what this server? This server is the Linux server. What is this server? This server is the Linux server. So who will operate this server? Developer. Developer doesn't know how to operate the Linux machine. Developer so knows only the how to build the code. How to build the code. So for example, who knows that Linux? The Linux engineer or something like a Linux engineer. So Linux engineer or a Windows engineer, for example, if it is a Windows server or a Linux server, who knows the operation engineers? What is that? So who is that? Operation engineers. So once you build the .jar or var, the operation engineer took that code and deploy it under the Tomcat server. So where they can deploy? They can deploy is nothing but a copy the server from OPT Tomcat web apps. What is that? Web slash web slash fd.jar. Right. Your code is deployed now, and so through the HTTPS, through the HTTPS or HTTP. So what is that? So whatever you are seeing in the browser, the pages, right? The pages are web pages. Those are HTTP pages. What is hypertext pages? So so if you want to transfer the hypertext, so hypertext is through HTTPS or HTTP. Hypertext transfer protocol. Through the hypertext transfer protocol, so we are accessing the website from your Google Chrome to Google Chrome is the web browser. From your web browser to web server. From our web browser to web server. Right. So who did this? The operation will do the deployment. So what is this, guys? So integration, what this is? This is nothing but a I. This is nothing but a T. Guys, this process. So this process is nothing but. This process is nothing but what called model. So in the waterfall model, in the waterfall model. So everything through manually, everything through manually. So if you want to produce a software, it will take so at least 1 hour or one year or 6 months to produce the software. So here everything through manually. So because of why? So oftenly something like a yearly once they deploy the new features. Deployed the new features, right? So yearly once they deployed the code. Code. So do you want to automate this process? No, because of yearly once only, right? So the yearly once they deployed the new features. Yearly once they deployed the new features, right? So we don't need to automate the process. Everything in the waterfall model, everything in the manually. So what is SDLC, guys? SDLC you already know, right? So if you have a thought, need to implement the software, so we can use the SDL. SDLC is nothing but a software development life cycle. What is that analysis? Yeah, Nalini, any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. That so what is that analysis? So analysis, design, so analysis, design, build, test. Okay. So first analysis, then design, then build, then test, then deploy. So here developers work on developers work on build and the operation engineer will work on deploy. So operational engineer, so we'll work on supply side and the build engineer. So design means architect. How we can architect this? Analysis means we can analysis. Test means we need to test the application. Right? This is the SDLC. So once you deploy the application, right, we can check it in the. So this is nothing but a I and the D. So I and D integration. So then a Agile methodology. Agile methodology. So Agile methodology came into the picture. So what is Agile methodology? Yeah. So waterfall methodology, something like analyze, plan, design, build, test, deploy. Right. So if you want to produce a software, something like a Facebook, so we need to start. We need to do everything: plan, analyze, plan, design, build, test, deploy. So right. So once we deploy, it will take something like 1 year or oftenly it will deploy oftenly. So we do. So then agile methodology comes into the picture. Agile methodology is nothing but it's a sprint based and it's a scrum based. The So here in the waterfall model, so it will produce the software at least 6 months or 1 year. In the agile methodology, it will produce a feature. So within this 15 days, so 15 days, how we can possible design, build, test, it will be iteration, right? So limitations of a water model, high amounts of risk and uncertainty, no working software is produced until the late during life cycle. So once an application is in the testing stage, it is very difficult to go back and change the something that was not well throughout in the concept stage. Okay, not a good model for the complex and object oriented programs projects. So not suitable for the projects where requirements are at a moderate and high risk of the changes. Then agile methodology comes into the picture. Okay, so in the agile methodology, each project is broken up into several iterations. All the iterations should be the same time duration between 2 to 8 weeks. Okay, so 2 weeks, so that a new software will be produced. At the end of the each iteration, a working product should be delivered. A working product should be delivered. Means every 2 weeks we need to deploy the software. We need to deploy a application or a feature, right? So this is once a while, right, in the waterfall model. But in the agile methodology, so every 15 days we need to deploy the code, right? So every 15 days means so monthly twice, so 2 months 4 times, right? Per year, per year 24 times we need to deploy the application. So right, for that time we need this is the repeated task, right? We need to automate the process. So how we can automate the process? So in the agile methodology, right, a 15 days, all iterations would be the same duration between the 2 to 8 weeks. So once you deploy the code, right, in the limitations of agile methodology, work code in front my laptop, the development team telling like that, so wants to change. And the operations team, there is some problem with the code, it does not work in the production. Wants a stability. Development team wants change, and the operations team wants a stability. Operations team wants a stability. The solution is so we need to resolve this bridge between the development team and operations team, right? That is nothing but a DevOps. So DevOps is not a tool. DevOps is a methodology or a culture. DevOps is a methodology or a culture. So we can use operations team and the development team work together and automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. Guys, understood? What is DevOps now? You understood? So what is DevOps? Guys, what is DevOps? So DevOps is not a methodology. DevOps is not a tool. It's a methodology or a culture. So development team and operations team work together. Development team and development team and operations team work together. Work together. Work together and automate the process. Is nothing but developers. Automate the process is nothing but a DevOps. Development team and operations team. So why DevOps? So DevOps is nothing but a to why DevOps guys? To automate the process. To automate the deployment process or infrastructure building process, whatever that. To automate the process is nothing but a so DevOps life cycle, something like a CI/CD. What is the life cycle of a DevOps? CI/CD. So what is CI? What is CD? Here you see, right? So now you understood the what is I and what is D. It is in the waterfall model. So once the agile methodology comes into the picture, a C is added. What is that, guys? CI CD. What is CI? What is CD? What is CI and CD? CI is nothing but a continuous integration and continuous deployment. So what is continuous integration and continuous deployment? So DevOps is nothing but CI/CD process. What is that, guys? DevOps life cycle is CI/CD. So what is CI/CD, guys? Continuous integration and continuous deployment. Continuous integration and continuous integration. This CI/CD provides some tools like Jenkins, GitLab, CI. So everywhere they are providing the CI/CD solutions. Jenkins is the open source. What is CI/CD? What is? So now you understood SDLC, software development lifecycle, waterfall methodology, and agile methodology. So now you understood what is DevOps, why DevOps, or DevOps lifecycle, right? So what is the DevOps lifecycle? I will tell you. Yeah. So what is that? So that Jenkins provides the CI/CD solution. So CI is nothing but a continuous integration. CD is nothing but a continuous development. So what are the tools we use for the CI? What are the tools we use for the CD to automate the process? So in the CI purpose, they are using a plan, code, build, test. What is this guys? Plan, code, build, test. So this is the CI. So for this purpose, we can use Git, Jira, Maven, and Gradle, SC, JUnit. So this is nothing but a CD. So CD is nothing but a continuous deployment. So continuous deployment operate monitor purpose, they are using Docker, Vagrant, Puppet, Chef, Ansible, Starcharm, CLK, Splunk, and AWS. These are the CD operations. So right side is nothing but a CD, left side is nothing but a CI. CI is nothing but a continuous integration. CD is nothing but a continuous deployment. CD is nothing but a continuous deployment. Guys understood? Yeah. So what are the DevOps stages? DevOps stages are so version control system. So maintains different versions of the code, source code management, continuous version control. So continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. So finally, continuous monitor. Okay. Guys understood? So what is that? Simple DevOps is nothing but a so the automating the process. The deployment process automation is nothing but a DevOps. How you can do it through the pipeline. Through the pipelines, you can deploy automatically. Deploy automatically. So what is DevOps? DevOps is the combination of cultural philosophy and practices and tools, increase an organized ability to deliver the applications and services at high velocity, faster pace than organization using traditional software development and infrastructure management process. This speed enables organization to better serve their customers and compete more effectively in the market. So that delivery pipeline, build, test, release, plan, monitor. So here, right, the DevOps tab. So monitor, plan, build, test, release. So these are the DevOps stages. So source control, source code version control, infrastructure as a code, provisioning and configuration management, operator, virtualization and containerization, so logging and visualization. So then plan continuous integration, continuous delivery or deployment, CI/CD, quality control. Yes, understood? So plan a code, build, test, release, deploy, operate, and monitor. So these are all the comments. Yeah, continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Continuous integration, continuous delivery, and continuous deployment. Life cycle. So what is the life cycle, guys? So continuous operation, continuous deployment, continuous integration, continuous testing, continuous deployment, continuous feedback, continuous monitoring. This is nothing but a SDLC life cycle. Is understood? Jira Agile is a new SDLC method to implement the software applications. Jira is a tool used to manage management stories and sprints and Scrum processes. So Jira continuous plans, project documentation, and work status. On the status. Jira we already know, right? Jenkins is a powerful application that allows you to continuous integration and continuous delivery of the projects, regardless of the platform, right? Regardless of the platform. So Sonar code quality, Sonar type access resulting container, Kubernetes, Ansible, Nagios. So we'll use those tools, guys. We'll those tools and automate the process. Guys, understood? Any doubts, guys? Mahesh, Nani, Kirti, Vishal. Guys, any doubts?
Yes.
Sorry, guys, I'm unable to hear your voice. Any doubts?
No doubts, no doubts.
Okay, guys. So, guys, thank you. So we'll continue from tomorrow.